I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Hello, Clarice. Ceedee Lamb, Silence of the Lambs. You know we had to do it. There we go. So, as the Vikings look to replace Stefon Diggs, Ceedee Lamb out of Oklahoma, come on down one time. Let's talk about him today. So, background: Ceedee Lamb, 6'2", 189-pound true junior from the Oklahoma University. Originally a 4-star recruit out of Richmond, Texas. Part of Oklahoma's 2017 class. Pretty damn solid class, by the way. Pretty amazing. Chose Norman over Bama and Texas. Also, could you imagine Jerry Jeudy, Ceedee Lamb, and Henry Ruggs III? I mean, I could win the Heisman with those three, but yeah, whatever. Came out guns a-blazing, true freshman year. 46 catches, 807 yards, 7 touchdowns as a true freshman, starting 13 games with Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield. No big deal. He also threw a touchdown on a trick play, which is kind of awesome. But just also, I mean, imagine those weapons on that team. It was Ceedee Lamb, true freshman. It was sophomore Hollywood Brown. It was Mark Andrews, the great tight end. Brown and Andrews now both with the Ravens. Also, the Vikings legend, as well as Jets, almost Jet, Jeff Badette. Remember him? He was on that team. Sure, as an also ran. Sophomore year for Ceedee Lamb, 65 catches, 1,158 yards, 11 touchdowns with Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray. You're starting to see a pattern here. Yeah, Ceedee Lamb is the Heisman maker. Also, in the playoffs that year, went off for 8 catches, 109, and a touchdown against Bama in their Orange Bowl loss in the playoff semis. So, yeah. Finally, junior year. Save the best for last. 62 catches, 1,327 yards, 14 touchdowns with Heisman Trophy runner-up Jalen Hurts. No big deal. First team All Big 12, consensus All-American, just an all-around stud. Out in 3 years, nothing left to prove. He gone. So I went to the Combine. Combine was a little but also I do think that the Combine moving to prime time, a lot of these guys running and doing drills later on the night when they weren't fresh, especially if they got up early in the day. I think that certainly had a part of it, but also are pretty meh. I mean, none of his measurables are going to knock your socks off, but also I'm not overly worried. He does check the boxes. There isn't any severe deficiencies. He's fast enough. He's quick enough. He jumps high enough. He'll be fine, right? A lot like T. Higgins, a lot like the aforementioned Jerry Jeudy, a lot like Tyler Johnson. Like, they're not going to just completely blow the doors off the roof. Nailed it. With measurables, like, they're not going to be as fast as Henry Ruggs III, but also who is, right? But dude can just play. Like, you can talk about all the analytics you want and all the measurements and all the testing of this stuff, but sometimes it just comes down to, can the dude play? And of course he can play. And I do like that we're starting to get away from just straight speed. I mean, Darius Hayward-Bay's got to go number 7 overall to the Raiders back in the day, as well as John Ross. What has John Ross done, by the way? Yeah, great pick, Cincinnati. Awesome. And for me, number one item for a wide receiver should be pretty self-explanatory. Can you get open? Can you get separation? Can you do that? Generally, that comes from great route running, and I can't get Lance Zierlein's comp for him out of my head. Ceedee Lamb is Chad Johnson. He is Ocho Cinco. Because you look at him, he's, Chad Johnson's like 6'1", 6'2", very slight of frame. Not the fastest, not the quickest in the world, but just smooth as hell. Was a hell of an operator out there. Great feet, great hands, amazing route runner, great at body control, and just got space and made plays. Just had to knack. He could beat man. You could sit down in zone. He was the quarterback's best friend, and you see a lot of that in Ceedee Lamb. Like I said, great hands, great body control, like back shoulder throws at Oklahoma, whether it's Baker, whether it's Kyler, whether it was Jalen Hurts. I mean, they're amazing. They were very mature. I mean, his stop routes, all of it was very polished. And he would, day one, is going to step on any NFL team and be the wide receiver 2. And also be the wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams, frankly. But his game is tailor-made. He's NFL ready. Very young age, like I said, is a true junior. Also, he returns punts. He returned 54 over 3 seasons in Norman at an 8.8 yards per return average. So, pending what the Vikings want to do with Mike Hughes, Ceedee Lamb potentially returning some punts, add some value there. Frame-wise, does need to add some weight. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but also, what have we said before, easiest thing to do in the NFL and the NFL strength and nutrition programs, add weight, yada, yada, yada. But for me, I mean, Lamb, I still put Jerry Jeudy up there on a pedestal. Like, He's my numero uno. Lamb, I put with Ruggs and Higgins in a tier slightly below Judy. Put Chenault in there as well if you want. But I really like him. I really do like Lamb. Not sure if he gets to 22 because here's what's going to happen with the wide receivers in this class. Because it is so deep, I think teams could possibly wait. But also, I think there is a separation between the top two tiers and then everyone else in terms of wide receivers. But, I mean, that second tier is pretty thick as well. So beyond Judy, I mean, there's 4 or 5 names that you could almost put in interchangeably. And also, Judy might not be the wide receiver one off the board. I mean, a team may fall in love with Ruggs' speed. That still happens. Or a team may really just love Ceedee Lamb, and he might be the first receiver off the board. But I think right now, Lamb's floor is probably 13 to the Niners. Just imagine Ceedee Lamb replacing Manny Sanders, working with Jimmy Garoppolo. Ceedee Lamb, Deebo Samuel. That's tight. That is tight. But if Lamb starts getting down into the mid to late teens, may start getting a little itchy. Like, say Judy's off the board. Judy goes to the Jets or something, replace Robbie Anderson, who's probably not going back in free agency. And then, Ceedee Lamb gets by the Niners somehow, and then he keeps dropping and gets down to 18, 19. All of a sudden, if you're sitting there at 22, might get a little bit itchy because you do have plenty of draft capital to move up. You got 2/3, you got that fourth back again, and you got a future 4th rounder. So maybe you just go up and get your guy. Maybe you do that if they are truly in on Ceedee Lamb. It's also going to be really annoying with the coronavirus stuff because of pro days. I mean, scouts aren't traveling. Spielman, Zimmer aren't traveling. So also top 30 visits, I don't even know what's going to happen with those. They might not even happen. So they may not even have any insight or inklings or, teams getting off tells where they're focusing. But overall, if the Vikings end up with Ceedee Lamb at either 22 or 25 or just whatever in the first round, I would be happy. I would certainly be happy. I think he comes in as the wide receiver 2 right away. He and BC Johnson will do some really nice things behind Adam Thielen, and he brings a lot to the table. In fact, actually, this game kind of reminds me of Thielen a little bit, but only working on the outside. He doesn't really work in the slot from Oklahoma. But that's it. Your thoughts, Ceedee Lamb coming in, potentially replacing Stefon Diggs. Let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, below some of the Venmo. Please give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.